To start the measurement, press Begin Analysis and then pump acid into the sample column assembly. Displayed here we have sample name, %T, cell current, total amount of carbon in micrograms measured, and the elapsed time. There is also a button to abort sample. All the measurements will be listed in these fields here. When we press Begin Analysis on the display, it's time to pump the acid. Slowly pump 10 milliliters of acid into the system. You should see the acid enter the system and the carrier gas begin bubbling through the acid. The sample column assembly can be lowered into the heating block if you want to use heat to assist CO2 release. The system will be almost finished with measuring blank. We set the system to do 8 readings, which should take 7 minutes because the first reading is at time 0. When it finishes, we can see that the blank sample is 1.5 micrograms of carbon. Any value between 0 and 10 micrograms of carbon is acceptable, but this range varies between different analysts and types of samples. If you would like to measure more samples, press Next. If you are finished, press Done. To change samples once the blank is finished, press Lift Up, unscrew the red joint connector, and slowly pull the flask down. Use a clean Kim wipe to wipe the tubing for any acid that might be left over on the outside, and if you see bubbles of acid on the inside of the tubing, flick the tube a few times to get rid of the bubbles. This sample was weighed in a Teflon cup, and the cup was placed in the flask. Attach the flask to the sample column assembly with the red joint connector, and you're ready to start the next measurement. When the new flask is in place, press Next. Enter your sample name and size and press Enter. We can see that the %T is slightly elevated because there's trapped CO2 from the air that was inside the flask. The system will purge that and the %T will go back to 29.5. When this is done and the cell current is 0, the system is ready to begin analysis. To begin sample analysis, press Begin Analysis and pump acid into the sample column assembly. If you notice that there's a bubble in the Teflon cup, tap the flask gently before placing it in the heating block. The system will measure until it reaches % difference criteria, and then it will stop. At that point you can press Lift, then change the sample flasks and put another sample in. When sample measurement is finished, you can see the results on the screen. For this sample, the measured carbon content is 12.04%. The theoretical value is 12.01%, so this is a good measurement. If you have more samples, you can press Next and measure more samples. Or, if you are finished, you can press Done, and then the system will save these results on the USB.